Well, good morning, everyone. Thomas Montgomery with IIMFL and Smart Money Alliance. It's our pleasure to visit with you most weekday mornings at 8 o'clock Central. We normally get started about a minute before, like we are right now. We won't have a session on Thursday because of Thanksgiving, or Friday because of the Thanksgiving break. So Monday through Wednesday of this week. When we get together at this 8 o'clock a.m. Central Zoom webinar session, it's to get together and talk with our distribution partners. It wasn't too long ago that we rolled out the Small Business Incubator as a resource, and that's what you see on the screen here now. The Small Business Virtual Incubator was designed to close the credibility gap so small businesses have increased access to capital. We opened our first incubator about a month ago. It's been a resounding success. And now we're duplicating that. So many of you are becoming our joint venture small business incubator partners. And so I think we launched 3 just over the weekend. And so this is really going to be the focus of our distribution, because we know that most small businesses want and need capital, but quite frankly, so many of them are missing the credibility factors to be able to access the capital that they desire. And by going through an incubator type model, we can provide a proven and affordable solution for small businesses. And so from that perspective, of course, we have our main virtual incubator that any of you that are not going to partner with us to have your own can refer into. Here on the IIMFL website, on the incubator page, there's a YouTube video. Talk a little bit about how we can help them set up shell companies, describe what's included. And then the inquiry form is at the bottom. And frankly, this inquiry form is what you'd want to use if you're referring in someone as a participant, listing yourself as the referral source, or if in fact you would like to work together and launch an incubator on your own, which is more of our discussion today. Once you decide that you want to set up an incubator together, a JV, joint venture incubator, of course, it's very affordable. Other than $250 out of pocket for us to get that set up and going, it's going to be cash flowing. Our goal is for each JV incubator to generate positive cash flow in the first week of operation. So this isn't some financial drag, and also it's not an obstacle. So if you're serious about wanting to help small businesses and wanting to generate a significant income, then partnering up on an incubator makes all the sense in the world. We will create a landing page that's going to be specific to your incubator. And so this is what you would reach out to prospective participants. We can provide you an infinite number of leads of recently formed small businesses in your area, those that have just formed DBAs, LLC, C Corps, S Corps. We can work on strategies to reach out to key influencers. We can use education as a funnel builder. But the point is, you'll get a landing page that's unique for your incubator. That's where you drive folks into. We'll receive that, and then we'll send the participants a DocuSign that is specific to your incubator, to the joint venture incubator, to get them executed. So real simple there. A couple other flyers I wanted to show you, and then we'll get to a new topic today. So we'll also create a flyer, of course, that's branded to your JV incubator, and the link here will tie back to the landing page that's specific. So kind of a turnkey marketing model that normally we can get set up within 24 hours, and we can be open for business. Your incubator can be open for business literally in 24 to 48 hours. We talked recently about the economic model of doing a joint venture incubator together. We had a full session on that. I can make sure you have the link for that if you need it. But I mean, it's a no-brainer. If you're looking at doing 2 things, helping entrepreneurs and making money, how would you not want to do a JV incubator? There's no significant upfront cost. Again, it's $250 so we can actually get the JV set up. After that, it's cash flowing positive. And you can see the projections we see here. And if you feel like they're too aggressive, we can go through and change what if scenarios. But we covered that on a recent training. Now, with the virtual incubator, what you and I are doing for small businesses is providing them a turnkey solution to be able to get their business set up and set up credibly. It includes getting the business filed. I can make this a little larger for us. Getting the business filed with the Secretary of State, getting their EIN, providing a unique commercial address, providing mail handling so they get their mail, no additional cost, providing them a business phone number, but it really a true phone system. So it's a business phone number and it's listed with directory assistance, but it's a true phone system that we're paying for. It doesn't come out of their pocket. Getting them a website and a true branded email address. The last thing that you and I want to see are these small businesses that are using Yahoo and Gmail and American Online, really consumer grade emails. That does not make them look credible. So we'll resolve that for them. Going to help them get that business bank account set up, get a relationship with a CPA, because you and I know every small business is going to need a CPA relationship, and make sure that they have legal counsel. We're going to provide them at no cost Quickbooks. Now, in this JV relationship, remember, we're paying for all of this. We're not asking you to pay for the Quickbooks. We're not asking for you to pay for the website. We're not asking for you to pay for the phone system. We're not asking for you to come up with a commercial address that the clients can use. It's turnkey. We provide all of that. But back to QuickBooks. So QuickBooks is necessary for them to be able to produce income statements and balance sheets called interim financial statements. We're going to help them build out their business credit profile. They can raise $100,000 to $250,000 of business credit under their EIN, often without personal guarantees. Well, why is that possible? As the business is set up properly, it's credible. And also helping them put together a loan package. And so any of the incubator clients, we're going to help them raise a guaranteed minimum of $100,000. And so, the incubator is outstanding. Now, what I know though is as you're out spreading the word, you're going to run into some small businesses that don't want the full incubator package. So maybe they have some of these items, or they're just not a good fit by their own decision for the full small business virtual incubator. So what we rolled out over the weekend is a kind of an entry point into the incubator space. And so this is something that we'll still offer together through our JV relationships. This is for those small businesses that all they want is a commercial address. So this is new information now. Let's go ahead and go through this in a little more detailed fashion. So we call this the low, sorry, if we can highlight it properly. We call this the low priced business address. And then if they need assistance building their business credit, we'll do that as well for no charge. Who should participate? Building business credit is an important part of operating and growing a business. A strong business credit score and profile can provide access to capital obtained under your EIN and even increase the value of your company. Furthermore, a true business commercial address improves the credibility of your business and increases your access to capital. Most banks and lenders do not accept residential or PO box addresses, and now even shared addresses through virtual offices are often red flagged. What was happening is that so many small businesses were gravitating towards Regis and WeWork and CoWork and these other virtual office, shared office providers that the lending market and banks in general have generally red flagged now those shared office addresses. And that's why our model, what you and I are doing, is different. In my model with the incubator, each participant is getting a unique address, not a shared address. We used to have a shared office address with Regis, Suite 400 is what it was. There were hundreds of companies using Suite 400. Guess what? Banks have realized that. Business Credit Bureau, Dun & Bradstreet realizes that, and that causes a red flag. And so what you and I are doing together through this option is just providing them a unique business address. And again, if they're wanting the full package, they can have the full package. you're going to generate 50-50 income either scenario. And so when you're having a conversation with your prospect, I would start with the full virtual incubator. This provides the turnkey model, but there will be some that simply want the business address. So as it states here in bold, thus every business should have a unique business address. We make that affordable. And we means you and I, right? This is a resource that IIMFL, a 501c3 nonprofit, is partnering with you through the JV Incubator program to make available. Now let's talk about the cost and also, of course, the revenue share, which is important to you. Well, the revenue share, you know, it's 50-50, but the cost. So what we charge is essentially $500 annually for that business address. So what does that equal to? You know, around $40 a month or so, but they're going to pay in one lump sum up front. So you and I, none of us are worried about invoicing and so forth. To really sweeten the pot, what we're offering is anyone that uses our JV business address offering here that we're talking about, we will go ahead and help them build their business credit profile with no additional cost. So when we're building their business credit, they're not paying us a percent of the capital raise or a percent of the points or anything like that. So it's an extraordinary value. There's some businesses that are out there that just provide access to commercial addresses, and those often range from $50 to $100 a month. You might find some a little less, a little bit more, but that's the normal range. And so we're at the low end of that spectrum. You can find companies like Credit Suite, excellent company out of Florida that you can pay to help build your business credit profile. But now you're paying them a few $1,000s. So when you consider what you and I are offering to small businesses of the combination of the commercial address along with the business credit build for under 500, no brainer. I mean, it's a no brainer. Now, if they already have a commercial address, then this is irrelevant, right? We respect that, but most small business owners that we see coming through the system do not have a true commercial address. Now, again, if they're coming through the full virtual incubator, that this is included. We don't go upsell them to this. This is a low priced option. This is the normal option. So I'm just clarifying that we've rolled this out. And so this is something that if you're not an incubator partner, you can refer people into. We'll throw $100 your way. So thank you for the referral. But really, it's meant to be an instrument for those of us that are working together through the JV incubator model. Now you're making $250 off of each one of these. Well, you know, I mean, that's the startup cost for your incubator, right? I mean, you could sell one of these and it pays for your startup cost for your incubator. And so that's the beautiful thing about how we set up the joint venture incubator model is it's an economic no-brainer, because we talked about the revenue projections and how we're 50-50 splitting these areas, the potential. I mean, we're going to put you on a monthly salary of $10,000. I guess you don't have to take that, but that's the proposal. Get you a budget for a company car, set up a retirement plan and benefit package, and do weekly profit sharing. And based upon the assumed volume, you can see the type of profit that we anticipate seeing across here. Okay, so let's scroll down a little bit here. So this flyer is off of our main incubator, but we'll have a variance of this flyer that will be branded to your joint venture incubator, just like this one is. So this one is with Primary Capital Advisors Incubator. So there'd be a flyer that you would have off of the business address offering alone. All right, so then let's close this and go back over here. So what we covered is the virtual incubator is really the flagship offering. Now, not all small businesses need that entire scope of service. And so if we're working together through the joint venture incubator program, We run into small businesses that need access to capital, but that don't need the incubator themselves because they have enough of the credibility factors. That's not a problem. Then we roll them through the access to capital offering. We still do the 50-50 revenue split. And in that case, the client has no upfront cost. If they don't have these credibility factors, then we can certainly assist them in these areas. There's two ways to go to market, one of which is to lead with the access to capital, no upfront cost, get them in the system. We do the company profile, and then we can really qualify them for the incubator offering, which is just fine. Or some of you are more assertive and going right out to the marketplace, offering the joint venture incubator. So let's get to the questions that you have, because as we get together on weekday mornings, we're going to really be primarily focusing on how we work together with our joint venture incubator partners to be successful. So let me summarize what we've covered today, and then let's get to your questions. So in summary, how do you become a joint venture incubator partner? Remarkably simple, right? Go to IIMFL, click on incubator, scroll down, tell us that you're interested, click this box here, submit it. We'll send over the DocuSign. It's only $250 to get a joint venture incubator set up. Within 24 to 48 hours, we'll have the incubator live and we'll be ready to start enrolling clients. The goal is for you to generate profit in week one. In month one, we'll be setting up the salary, the benefits, the company car allocation. We're not going to dink around. We're going to hit the ground running. So that was point number one. Point number two is we'll get your incubator set up quickly. We'll have a landing page that's connected to your incubator. We'll provide the branded flyers, so it's linked specifically to your incubator. And then all you're going to do is just simply funnel those prospects into the landing page that we'll create. We'll then send them the DocuSign. The DocuSign will be specific for our joint venture incubator. It won't be feeding them into our main incubator. It'll be feeding them into our joint venture incubator. And for those that don't need or don't want or can't pay for the full spectrum, because there's a $9.99 deposit that they're paying you. They're paying you. It's going into your bank account to join the full incubator. If that's not within their budget or not their needs or their preference, but they don't have a business address, now we have an option for that. That is a one-time $500 payment, includes the business credit build, and we split that 50-50. So it's an easy $250 for you, and it creates the core credibility factor, because you're not going to be able to build business credit off of your EIN, off of a residential address, off of a post office box, and it's almost impossible now to do it off of a shared office address. So this is a gold mine. And then lastly, what we said is we can go out to the market focusing on the no upfront access to capital program, feed large numbers in. Many of those prospects then would benefit from either your full incubator or at least the commercial address. Okay, so let's get to your questions, comments, concerns. We've got a lot of bright minds here, and some of you have set up a joint venture incubator with us, and a couple of you went live over the weekend. So we'll be enrolling clients this week. You'll be having a profit share this week on Friday. On Good Friday, we'll be in and we'll all be processing the profit share. So money doesn't stop for the weekend. I know that we're in the midst of a pandemic and there's a lot of alarming things going on. I think Los Angeles has announced that they're going to close in-person dining. Las Vegas is restricting travel. And of course, that's a major tourism market. El Paso, Texas is getting crushed with a high number of COVID cases. But don't fool yourself. This is a time in our society where there are economic winners and economic losers. You have to decide what you do and what value you provide, what service you provide, and what revenue you generate. What we're talking about right here is being an economic winner, not at anyone's expense, but helping small businesses. People are losing their jobs and they can't find new jobs. So they're starting businesses, but they can't start a business and raise capital if they're not credible. That's what you and I are doing, is we're providing a turnkey service to help these folks become credible so they have better access to capital. All right, so let's get to your questions, comments, concerns. Robert asked about a personalized landing page. Absolutely. So Robert, we need to get your incubator set up today. And then at that point, what we'll do is we'll get the flyer set up for your incubator, Robert. And then also what we'll do is get the landing page set up for your incubator. We'll get the client agreement set up and loaded into DocuSign. And then you'll just start feeding your prospects, Robert, right into here. We'll send them the joint venture client participation agreement via DocuSign, start enrolling them. You'll start receiving the $999 deposit from each one of them. And there's no reason that we can't be averaging one a day. That's the goal for each of these joint venture incubators, is one a day. And that's what this is based off of. I know there's not 33 days in a month, but the goal is technically 100 a quarter. So that averages to 33 a month. And these are the income projections. So Robert, that answers your question. Let's get your JV incubator set up. We'll get everything in place and we'll be up and operational this week. Thank you, Robert. Okay, so we've got Ahmad, Anna Marie, Annette, Barry, Brian, Bruce, Christopher, Kwong, Dion, Kelvin, Mark, Monique, Peggy, Precious, Robert, Toussaint, Travis, Will, and many others. What questions do any of you have so we can execute the simple strategy? It's simple and it's lucrative. Let's set up a joint venture incubator together. Cost is not a barrier. It's going to generate revenue to you. We've gone through a full session on looking at the economic model, even if you feel like this is too aggressive, but then we can reduce that down to projections you like. Dion says he doesn't want to be paid as an incubator manager, just wants to be an affiliate. Perfect. So we will feed them into other incubators. That's not a problem. So all you need to do, Dion, is drive people over here to the IIMFL website, scroll down at the bottom, the inquiry form, and you can either have them, it wouldn't be that, probably they're looking for capital. So you'd put in their name, email, phone, put in your name, Dion, check this box, hit submit. We'll pick it up and run with it. Very simple. Travis says he's working on his business credit now. Oh, that's great, Travis. But if you're wanting to generate an adult income going into 2021 and thereafter, we need to set up your joint venture incubator. That's where the money is made. And let me pull that back up, Travis, and make sure that we're all on the same page, right? So building your business credit's fine, but I think you're missing the point tremendously. There's economic winners and losers that are being developed in this economic environment. This is a way to be an economic winner because you're solving other people's problems. You're helping small businesses have the credibility factors that they need so they can access capital to go pursue their dreams. Okay. And Toussaint asked, where do we find customers for the incubator? Well, we'll provide you a listing, if you'd like, of newly formed businesses in your area, new DBAs, LLCs, C Corps, and S Corps. Those are pretty good businesses to reach out to. They've recently formed, and chances are they're wanting and needing capital. We can flag off of only home-based businesses. Well, what does that mean? A home-based business cannot build business credit. They cannot access capital off of their EIN only because that's a key criteria. They need a commercial address. So Toussaint, providing you leads list left and right is fine. Secondly, you want to be active and interfacing with key influencers in your community. church leaders, chambers, business organizations, business associations. Just not, you're to go to them and say proudly, I run a small business incubator. I'm looking for small businesses that need help in accessing capital. The way that we help them access capital is by building their credibility factors. And if they go through our incubator, we guarantee them a $100,000 capital raise. You'll get referrals, more referrals than you know what to do with, Jason. So number one is leads list. Number two, key influencers. And number three is education. We just got to get out there. Let's get your incubator set up and start having educational sessions, whether they're in person or online. For instance, we can go teach the 20 days we get customers to sign, right? Number one would be leads list of newly formed businesses. Number two, key influencer referrals. And number three is from education, right? We got that covered. If you have questions, follow-up question on that, just sign. Sorry, our audio kicked out for a second there. So our plan, Brian, is for your incubator to have $79,035 in deposits into your bank account in December, in the first month of operation, based upon this being recorded on November 23rd. What we do each Friday is we split profits. It's just that simple. But you're not waiting for money to come in. The money's coming in directly into your account. Clients are paying you. Okay, so let's go back. Sorry about the sound interruption there, Robert. It looks like our internet had a little glitch. Okay, so we answered Brian's question, hopefully. Let's see here. We've got a question from, Dion just clarified he wants to refer in folks, and that's fine. We've got a bunch of incubators that are opening, and if you want just to be an affiliate and refer people in, Dion, to other people's incubators, perfect. That is perfect. We need you as well. Okay, who else has questions about the concept, right? We know that there's over 28 million small businesses. More are meet the credibility requirements to access capital, and most of them want and need more capital. And so what we're proposing here is that we can work together to solve that problem for small businesses, either in a very inclusive way through the full incubator package, or even if they don't want to do that or can't afford that, then we can at least get them a commercial address and build their business credit. For that, you're making an easy $250. Well, $250 I know is not a big deal, but that's enough to start your incubator, right? I mean, one client is enough to pay to get your incubator started. Okay, so who has questions? What did I not address? And again, apologize for the sound cutting out a moment ago. Who has any questions that we didn't cover? Because to us, this is a no-brainer. We'll be getting together at 8 o'clock Central, or a minute or so before, most Mondays through Fridays, absent Thursday and Friday of Thanksgiving week this week. And we're going to focus on coaching and working with our incubator partners, because this is the future of small business finance. Providing access to capital by resolving the credibility issues of small businesses. This is where it's at. We're on the ground floor of something remarkable. And you have the option, if you wish, to either just be a referral partner. Like Dion says, I just want to refer people in. Great. But others of you want to share a bigger piece of the pie. This is it. Any other questions before we end today's call? All right. Thanks, everyone. Ball's in your court. Look forward to talking to you tomorrow. Bye-bye.